All right, guys, what's up? How to master cold contacting. Wow, I wish somebody would have taught me the basics of this one. I can't tell you how many people that I messed up. They're still messed up years later. They don't want to talk to anybody. They don't want to meet anybody from any company ever again because of what I did. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name's Jeff Gamble. Background, traditional business, own a massage studio, own a real estate company, also a network marketer, and I'm currently a John C. Maxwell speaker, trainer, and coach. And today, what we're going to talk about is how to master cold contacting. And if you don't understand what cold contacting is, it's when you actually want to go talk to somebody you don't know. And I'll be real honest, this is where you're going to make most of your money. 90%, 95% of everybody's money that comes out of network marketing comes from cold contacting. It's usually not from the people they know. So if you talk to family, friends, and they're like, no, some of them are hell no. Some of them are lose my number, don't ever call me again, I don't want to talk to you. I'm like, Mom, wow, that's, everybody has a different situation. But this is where you're going to meet a lot of people. Now, let me give you some tips when you go out to try these techniques. They're really simple, they're really easy, anybody can do them, but they do take time to master. It's really good to go out with somebody who really is good at this. So what I would do is grab a pen and a piece of paper, and I would write this down, and I would practice it. And there's different steps, different stages. The first thing is when I go out to cold contact somebody now, I can dress like a bum. Like a bum. I can look like anything I want to. Why? Because I have posture and confidence, and I can talk to anybody about anything. And what I do is I say, look, I normally don't look like this. I'm usually uglier. Or, I am, but I don't look like this. I don't always wear a Barcelona outfit. I shave, most of the time. But you just caught me while I'm out, and I can start the conversation that way. And people will be like, okay, you're weird, but I'll give you the shadow, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt because of confidence and posture. And I'm like, look, it's really important. I want to talk to you. And I wouldn't have talked to you dressed how I am, looking how I am, but it just so happens that this is really important. And they're going to listen. But when you're new, I dressed up. And what I mean by dressed up is I didn't wear a t-shirt and a hat on backwards and, have, 5-6 days of not shaving. I shaved, I combed my hair, I took a shower. What you smell like is important. And if you don't understand that, just talk to a woman. And if you are a woman, talk to another woman and ask, is smell important? Smell is important. If you smell like you worked, in a trash heap, or you've worn your same gym clothes for 8 days, that's going to affect how people treat you. You also have to worry about breath. If you get up in somebody's face in the grill and you got dragon breath and it smells like you have a case of the Zackleys. If you don't know what a case of the Zackleys are, that's where your breath smells exactly like your ass. And if you met those people, that's not good. So you want to brush, you want to use Scope, mouthwash, whatever. You might sell a product that does that. Some kind of spray. I would definitely chew some gum, take some mints, whatever it takes. The best thing to do is probably brush your teeth. If you don't have any teeth, get some teeth. Whatever it takes. And I'm not saying, I'm not making fun of anybody. I'm just saying, whatever you got to do, that's important. Your smile. I don't have a straight smile. I wish I did. It's one of the things I'm working on. Not like physically myself, but, to get it done. Because that is important, your presentation of yourself, how you look. It's easy to dress up and wear like nice plain clothes, a polo shirt and jeans that aren't torn up. If you're tattooed head to toe, some people, I got friends that cover that up when they go out cold contacting because they don't want to be judged right away. And some people do judge. Earrings, piercings, tongue rings, nose rings. I've seen people who have confidence that can do it, and they look like they fell into a tackle box, rolled down a hill with a bottle of ink and needles, and they come out and they're the nicest people I know. So I'm not judging the people that have tattoos, but some people will judge you. So dress it up, cover it up, whatever you got to do when you go out. Why? Because if you have anything that detracts from your own self-esteem that makes it harder for you to do this, it will be harder for you to do this. You'll have to talk to more people. So you just want to narrow the gap. So that's number one. Number two is you have to learn something called form. Now, form is just, it's letters, it's an acronym, F-O-R-M, for friendly. The O is for occupation, the R is for recreation, and the M is for the message. So, friendly. Hey, how you doing today? Now, these are totally like 1%er things, but when I'm meeting somebody and I'm in line for Starbucks or I'm at the grocery store or whatever, I can start conversations. I try to start conversations with people who are sharp, with people who look like they have it together. If somebody's in a suit, and I look for certain things. I look for, name brands. I don't like go in people's stuff, but, you can tell when somebody has a name brand of anything. Name brand shoes, name brand belt buckle, name brand watch, name brand purse. I can tell when a girl is put together and her shoes match her belt and matches everything. I was like, wow, you look like a lawyer. And I might compliment. That's friendly. I was like, wow, you look like a lawyer or a doctor or something. What do? You CEO? And, it's, they normally, sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't. And they're like, no, I'm not that, and they kind of, I always like build them up. I build them up as high as I can go. Why? Because most people it's very humbling for somebody to compliment you like that. And here's the thing. If you compliment people, people will like you. They'll like you right away. If you try to sell your product to them or your service to them right off the bat before you compliment them, people will not like you. John Maxwell, says sometimes we need to sit people down and be like, people don't like you. Now, here's the reason why people don't like you, and here's what you need to change. I mean, as a friend, you want to do that for some people. You're like, you need to brush your teeth. I need to tell you, I don't know why nobody's ever sat you down and told you this, but, my name's John, and I'm your friend. That's what Mr. Maxwell always says. He's hysterical. But he brings up a good point. Sometimes you need to point this out to people. But there's a certain way to point it out to people. That's totally another subject. We'll do that another time. I want to get to the point. So form, friendly. How are you? How's your day? I love to ask people how their day is because if they're positive people in general, they're going to give you a positive response. Man, everything's going good. How's your day? They're going to fire right back. If they're a negative, sucking leech, just a person that just takes all the sun out of the sky and all the light out of a room, and they can suck the positiveness out of, any situation, they're going to tell you right off the bat. They're like, oh, today's horrible, it's raining, and I hate my boss, and this, that, and the other thing. I'm like, man, I don't even know you. Why are you telling me all this? But how's your day? I mean, it's amazing. People will just open up and tell you how their day is. And I was like, wow. And people will tell you an amazing amount of information if you shut up and listen. Just listen. Be like, well, how's your day? Now, it goes from how's your day, which is friendly, to occupation. What do you do? What do you do? Man, it looks like you're an attorney. It looks like you're a lawyer. If they're in a suit and tie, I always say, oh man, it looks like you're a lawyer, or you run some kind of company. Are you like the head guy? And I'll be dressed like this. I'm in a Barcelona shirt, so there's no threat, right? I'm not dressed up in a suit and tie where I'm trying to get them. They don't think I do anything. They're like, this guy might be homeless. Maybe he plays soccer part-time. I don't know. Like, what does he do? But they're just going to keep the conversation. Now, I also don't stare at them. There's a difference between eye contact and the piercing stare of a psychopath. You got to be somewhere in between, hopefully on the end of friendly. And also, I don't face them head on. I might, I'll be off to the side, kind of doing my own thing. I'm probably looking at my phone, and I'd say something like, hey, how's your day going? It's nice, it's nice out, finally. It's Indiana. If you don't from Indiana, Indiana's weather usually isn't good. So I'm like, hey, day's good. What's happening? So dress to form, family, or friendly. Hey, you from here? That's what the F's for. The F could be from here, friendly, or family. If you see, oh, you got kids. Oh, cool. How old are they? Are they yours? Did you steal them? I kind of joke with people. I can do that. But don't do that right off the bat because it might look creepy. I can get away with it sometimes, but I don't always do that. It just, if it's appropriate. So O, occupation. What do they do for a living? And then I'll go to R. I'll be like, oh man, you're from around here, so what's fun to do? What do you do when you're not at work? Because obviously it sounds like you work a lot based on what you do. I ask them questions about their work just as we're in line. The M for form stands for the message or the money or the motivation. This is getting to the point. And let's say they buy their drink and they check out, and if they're leaving right away, I might go for it right there. If they're not leaving, I'm not going to talk to them until I leave, unless it seems like they're going to meet for a business or whatever, and I might just ask them right there. I'd be like, hey, I know this sounds crazy, but you told me you're an attorney or whatever. Do you have a card? Now, most business people have a card. That's why I like to talk to business people. I like to talk to people in suit and tie. I like to talk to a woman that's in a business suit, or, you know, that owns something, runs something. If they own a business, typically they have a business card. I'm like, wow, do you have a business card? You're like, well, I network with a lot of people, and if I ever run across a person who'd be good, you know, I'll keep in contact with you. And at that point, then I'm able to get back with them, and we'll talk about how to get back with them, but just get the card, get the name and number. Let's say you don't get the name and number. I've walked into Starbucks and nobody's there. Same thing, form. I ask the person, the barista at Starbucks, you know, hey, how's your day going? You know, and they're like, and you know, here's another thing that I'll ask them. I'm like, oh, wow, so do you do this full-time or part-time? You know, just kind of, I'm just on my phone, right? Hey, you do this full-time or part-time? It's funny enough, the back of my card, you probably can't see it. This is exactly what I did with this lady. And I have her number right here. I'm going to give it to a friend who's in another company. And that's how we meet people. So the barista is like, oh, no, everything's good. You know, day's cool. You know, do you do this full-time? No, I do this part-time. I'm going to school. What are you going to school for? Oh, well, I'm studying whatever they're studying. Oh, great, cool. And if I go to that Starbucks a lot, I might not contact them the first time I meet them. But if they're like, oh, I'm just filling in for somebody, you have to judge this. I'm just filling in for somebody. I'm only gonna be here once. I'm like, oh, cool. I said, can I ask you a crazy question? Now, the wording of this, you have to get right. You have to get it right, because if you get it wrong, you're gonna sound crazy, number one, and it won't work. So I want to ask you a crazy question. I said, my company. And if I look weird, I said, obviously I'm not working right now, but my company actually looks for people with your background, and I have a crazy question to ask you. And this is where you have to get the wording right. Are you open to doing anything outside of working here? Notice I didn't say, are you interested in making more money? Because you might as well just put a fucking sign right on your head that says, I am new and I am trying to sell you some shit. Don't do that. It's real casual. I'll be like, I know this is kind of it's a weird question, but I'm a recruiter, and my company looks for people with your background, and I just want to know, are you open to doing anything outside of what you're currently doing? And here's how what they're really gonna. This is 99% of the time they're gonna be like, well, what exactly are you looking? What do you do? What are you guys looking for? I said, look, if they're at work, this is why I like to contact people at work. I said, oh, yeah, absolutely. I want to get back to you, but our company has a policy. We don't discuss that while you're working, and obviously you're working. Whether you're boss, there's cameras and everything. So I'll tell you what, I can get you some information. What's the best way to get a hold of you? Is it Facebook or a phone number? And those are the two I use. I said Facebook or phone number, which one works best? And people are like, normally, that's it. They're like, oh, well, you know, my number is blah, 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 blah. I said, cool, I'll get you the information. I'm just going to send it to you. You know, that's it. I can text you the information or whatever, and then we can get back together and talk. And texting them the information is, I'm then going to, you know, start a conversation with them back to the contacting. Hey, our company's looking for people with these backgrounds, you know, we're expanding in the area, and then I kind of go from there, and then I'll get them the information. But the key is getting the number. If you don't get the name and the number, what you gonna do? It's not worth it. So dress right, get yourself put together. Number one. Number two, form, F-O-R-M, friendly, occupation, recreation, the message, and then the question. Are you open to doing anything outside of working here? And they're going to say, like what? And I'm going to say, our company has a policy, we don't talk to people. Now, it's stupid to talk to people while they're at work. Why? Because that's taking them away from the work they're supposed to be doing. And I know, like, in today's society, people are like, man, I don't care. They don't pay me enough anyway. Well, I have this thing called respect for an employer. And I like for people to keep their jobs, and I like for our company to have a good name. So I don't talk to people while they're at work. Now, if they harass me too much, I'll be like, you know what? I think I was wrong. You are not the person we're looking for. And I'll be just straight, just like punch them in the head. And it's amazing. I've done that with people because people are like, oh no, well you have to tell me what it is or I'm not giving you my number. I'll be like, peace, have a good day. I go out to my car. I've had people follow me out to the car. Oh, I'm sorry. I just, somebody tried to get me one time for one of those things. And I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about, And we'll go into how to answer all the questions, but this is just the basics. Dress up, form, ask the question, Facebook or phone number. Facebook or phone number. And most people give it to you. I'll be like, well, is Facebook the easiest? And then I just hand them my phone. I've had people type it in. I'm like, cool, I'll just get you the information. Cool. Have a good day. So, guys, that's mastering. That's how to master cold contacting is dress right, form everybody. People are like, well, who do you form? I form everybody. Everybody I form, and then I make a decision at the end. Message, motivation, or money. Or move on. I mean, this person is not the person. I've gotten enough information to them. They're like, I just got out. I got 13 warrants for my arrest. I have no job. People are looking for me. I just stole the car I'm in. I just robbed a bank, and I'm here at Starbucks getting some coffee. I'd be like, peace. There's nothing for us to talk about. Some people are like, you are just the person I'm looking for. Are you looking for an opportunity? I don't do that. I run. So, guys, I hope you like this. I'm sorry this was a little long, but cold contacting takes a little bit more than just like do this. If you want to get good and you want to be able to recruit thousands of people, I just right over here, and it's just I got to move a lot of stuff around. But this is just an example. Knock down a bunch of crap. This is just an example. Now you guys can't see all that, but you know what those are? Those are fucking business cards. That's how many cold contacts I have. Something like 7,000. I don't run out of people. That's what made this easy for me. So guys, with that, like this video, share this video, join my page, Work with Jeff Gamble. Work with Jeff Gamble on Facebook. You can see the rest of the videos, and we'll keep putting out content like this. If you like it, like it. Thank you.